Let's go. I'm better than ever, they never been better than I. Regarded the hardest and I ain't even reaching my prime. They hate that I'm great and they faking I'm real as they come. So sit back and let me show you how this shit is done. My composition, my propositions, I'm raping the system. I'm killing the competition and all of y'all are my victims. Eyes and oohs as I'm ripping the instrumental, lyrical, individual, never been sentimental. I'm so hot every time that beat drop, and when I say I'm raping the...
What is good, boxing fans and gamers? It's your boy FightNightsFinest, the selfie commentator, back with another Fight Night Champion online ranked match. Using Sugar Ray Leonard going up against Miguel Cotto, we do have that reach advantage, a 7-inch reach advantage, 74 to 67, and we also have a height advantage as well. So what exactly is that we're going to try to do at this point? Fight on the outside, use range, box, footwork, defense, basic stuff, but they work so well if you put them together well. Anyway, before we hop into the match, well, maybe a little later in the commentary, I'm not sure, I'm kind of winging this as I go, but I want to talk about my first day at an MMA gym, man. You always hear about people who go off to like different gyms, and the first thing they think is, oh, we're gonna put some gloves on, we're gonna spar, we're gonna learn the basics of this, that, and the third, and that's not really how it goes. A lot of people don't realize you got to do conditioning before you get to that point of where they feel safe to let you put gloves and stuff on. So, of course, we start off with the conditioning, and we start running stairs. So running stairs isn't a problem for me, but I made 2 mistakes before I actually arrived at the gym. The first thing that I did that was a mistake was I didn't eat. So you didn't eat before a workout and your stomach's empty, you're not really burning off anything, you're just burning off fat. And also I drank juice 15 minutes before going there. So yes, you always hear about that one guy who's out of shape and he doesn't really belong in the gym, or he's gonna struggle more than everybody else. I was that guy this time around, even though I'm normally not. I will say I'm not badly conditioned. I'm not the strongest guy, I'm not the biggest guy in the world, I'm not the smallest guy either. But this time around, I was that guy who looked like he was completely out of shape. So the first thing that, like I said, that we did was we ran stairs, and then afterwards we stretched. Still feeling fine up to this point. Everything's good, everything's going well. I'm thinking, this ain't too bad. I could probably get through this entire workout. So next thing we go to is pull-ups. Now for me, pull-ups isn't a hard thing. Now if it was push-ups, that would be a whole different story. But for me, pull-ups isn't bad. For me, I'm really strong in the legs, but not so strong in the upper body. So pull-ups, we get through that. The first go pull-ups through the first 30 seconds, didn't struggle too bad with that. Second time going around, had a little bit of help, but was able to get through it. So pull-ups, get through that, everything's fine. So then they bring out the steppers. Well, not really a stepper, but it's almost like a bench where you jump on top of it, you jump off, or you take a step down, and then you go back on top. Well, you jump back on top of it. So this is where the stomach problems started coming in, because the running the stairs wasn't bad. I didn't really feel the juice or anything that was in my stomach. Everything was still fine at this point. But once I started jumping up and down, that's when my stomach really started to get cramps, and I started feeling sick. So I'm at this point, I'm thinking I'm going to throw up, even though we really haven't done much already. But my stomach is just killing me. So afterwards, we go over to the squats, start doing, like squat machine, you get on the squat machine. I think we had 45s on each side. Squatting, still feeling fine, but once again that up and down movement really started to get my stomach going. Then afterwards, I held a 45 on the chest, with chest up, started doing lunges forward, and then that's when it really hit me. That's when it really started getting bad, and I think I sat down for a little bit after that. And then what did we do after that? We had that, okay, and then that's when we moved on to a different circuit. We had like leg press, and we had I think it was not a weight ball to do sit-ups. Yeah, we had that there. I didn't do that station because my stomach at that point, I was already fucked. And then we had like the weight ball. kind of like a weight ball with a handle on it, and you kind of go up, and then it's kind of, and then you squat down. If anybody ever seen Never Back Down, you'll see that scene that he did with the weight ball. I don't know the exact name for it, but I'm pretty sure somebody in the comment section could correct me about that. So I was able to do that, and I was able to do the leg press, but I couldn't do the crunches immediately. I sat off for that one too, because once again I felt like I was gonna vomit. My stomach's still cramping up at this point. And then afterwards, I believe that's when we went over to the other side of the gym, and from there on we did crunches. I was able to do the crunches fine. Then we ran sprints, like suicides. You jog forward, then you sprint back. And then the last minute you were supposed to sprint back and forward if you could. Of course I couldn't. Stomach was still going at this point, and I was able to get through that part as well. And then we finished up with planks. So it wasn't bad for the most part. The working out part, it wasn't tough, but it was tough, but not too tough. You know, it should have been something that was doable for me, but I had such a hard time because my stomach made things a lot harder than what it was supposed to be. But it was a great experience. I had a lot of fun. The people there were great. I also went with one of my friends, and he was a great support system to me as well. Going back again today. I think I'm supposed to go back 4 times this week before I think it's Monday through Thursday, and then end up going back next Monday as well, and you know, repeating the process all over again. So unfortunately I won't be able to live stream tonight, because the time that I'm at the gym is usually the time that I'll be live streaming, and that's when the classes are. So I won't be here tonight. I can't stream on Thursday neither, because I believe Thursday is the last day. So I'm gonna try to get a video out for every day of this week to make up for the fact that I won't be able to live stream. So hopefully you guys could forgive me for that, and you all understand. But anyway, let's talk about this match. So let's talk about this fight. Miguel Cotto right now putting in some major work. Really hurt his bad. There you see I put the health and stamina bar back on for most of you guys seeing, to enjoy watching the videos a little bit better, knowing that that's on, being able to see the rounds, being able to see how I'm managing my stamina, and also to see when I'm hurt or not. For me, it really doesn't make a big difference. I don't mind fighting without the health and stamina bar. It's just one of those things you get used to. I mean, if you play the game long enough, you should know how many punches you should be throwing. We're able to hurt him right back here, but he's saved by the bell at the end of this round. And we've been having a lot of success during this fight with the jab, and also being able to stay in range. Now, he's one of those fighters that don't really want to engage in the fight. Let's take a look at these scorecards though. That is the scorecard, 29-28. 2 rounds to 1 in favor of your boy Sugar Ray Leonard. And this is what I was talking about, one of these guys that really don't want to engage in the fight. As Cotto, I really don't seem to understand this concept for people who play this game. You go online, you want to fight on the outside, but you pick an inside fighter to fight on the outside. It honestly doesn't make any sense. The footwork pattern's going to be there. As the way the fighter works, he want to be effective going backwards, and it's the main reason why he's losing a lot. Well, he's lost the first 2 rounds. 3rd round he got the stun, so that definitely helped him out dramatically. But I remember saying to myself at this point, you're going to notice the tendency that I have to keep fighting on the inside. And I said to myself when this was initially a live commentary that I'm going to stay on the outside. I refuse to come forward. I refuse to engage him in the fight. I'll just stay on the outside. I'll work my jab, and I'll use my footwork, and things will go fine. When he did come forward, he was not able to really land anything. You see us working a little bit of Ali head movement there with a little lean back. We try to keep our hands down just to gain that speed bonus, or movement speed bonus, whenever you drop your hands in order to stay away from him. But he was able to land a couple of nice shots there, so shout out to him for that, for being able to close the gap. But for the most part, he's still getting countered, he's still getting pot shotted, and it's really making our job a lot easier. This is how you're supposed to fight on the side, on the outside. You know, you use your jab, maybe you drop your hands every now and again. I don't always recommend dropping hands. You can fight on the outside while blocking at the same time, but it's a little bit more of an advanced thing, I guess, or I suppose. Some fighters can fight on the outside with their hands up the entire time. Take Ricardo Lopez, great fighter. A lot of people don't know about the flyweight. 49-0 as he finished his career with, I believe, 1 draw. And if you look at my channel background, he's the guy on the right-hand side. So he's like my second favorite fighter of all time behind James Toney. Look up some of his fights that's on YouTube. You won't find them all with English commentary. Alex Sanchez was a great fight that he had. It's probably the fight that you should watch if you're looking for any Ricardo Lopez match. But moving on to the 5th round. Yet another, I thought that was a successful round for us, even though we did get caught with some stuff. My ability to stay out of the inside has just been bad. I like to stay at range, or I'm trying to box staying at range more. Like I did a lot when I first started playing the game, staying at range, being able to jab. I used to fight on the outside quite a bit actually when I first started. But this is what I'm talking about. A guy who's not willing to come forward. He's not willing to engage in the fight. Regardless of the fact that he lost the first half of the fight, or he got tagged first. So if you get tagged first, that means you're behind on points. So you have to come forward. Well, that's the theory behind it, at least on how you get people to come onto the inside. So we're still trying to box at range, keeping the fight pretty much in the center of the ring. Like, I'm not going to be that guy anymore to just start chasing you down for the most part and just chasing you round after round after round, because I don't want to be an inside fighter. I want to fight more of a boxer puncher kind of style, where I'm able to stay at range, maybe box you in the center of the ring, apply a little bit of pressure here and now and again. Do come onto the inside, but not something that I try to stay doing at the entire fight. So you see us here really using the outside. You see him here trying to back us down. We're staying within punching range of him, so I guess that makes him feel more confident to go out there and throw punches. He lands a beautiful 2-punch combination right there, and this is what I'm thinking to myself: why am I engaging him on the inside? So I take a step back, I think for a minute, I pause, and I say, yeah, I can apply pressure with the jab. I can apply educated pressure, but I don't want to just, be chest to chest with him and have him sitting up against that wall and trying to land combination after combination after combination. So another thing, if you notice, that I'm doing while being on the outside is I am throwing combinations. I am throwing plenty of punches to keep him off of me, to give him something to think about, to let him know he's not just going to be able to waltz in front of me and just say, hey, I'm coming to fight on the inside. You're going to see a lot of people out there with the deception that outside fighting is, you throwing one punch, or you sticking the straight right hand, or if you're in southpaw, the straight left hand in the guy's face the entire time, and call it keeping off of him. If you want to keep somebody off of you in the southpaw stance, you use the jab, not the straight left. If you want to keep somebody off of you with a straight right, in the orthodox stance, yeah, you use the straight right in order to make a statement, but your jab, for the most part, is going to be the punch that you use in order to, keep him off of you for the entire time. You see that in any real, you see that with any real outside fighter, is that they always use the jab. They're always pumping out that left jab. All the greats done it. Sonny Liston, whenever he wanted to keep range. George Foreman, whenever he wanted to keep range or close the gap. Lennox Lewis did it. Muhammad Ali did it. Even the inside fighters use it to get onto the inside. Joe Frazier used the jab to get onto the inside. A lot of people don't realize how good of a jab Mike Tyson had, but he also used a solid left jab in order to keep his opponents at bay, or whenever he wanted to get on the inside, he used that jab in order to get onto the inside. Sugar Ray Robinson, a great example of that as well. Always had that jab pumping. And then if you try to clinch or get onto the inside, you saw those massive uppercuts, and a huge amount of uppercuts downstairs to the body, and then he'll probably be able to work the combination or something off of that, because you didn't want to hold him if your ribs getting racked like that. So that's another, that just shows you those real life examples, man, of how you're supposed to fight. So for me, at this point in the fight, I'm starting to get a bit bored, because this guy's losing the fight, but he's not taking the necessary steps in order to, he's not making any adjustments in order to try and win the fight. So this is the main reason why you don't want to be one-dimensional in this game, because if you're one-dimensional, you get frustrated, you lay back, you lose rounds, and you're losing rounds because you're stubborn and you can only do one thing that works. So for us, look how we just bait him at the end of the round. Little step in, step back out before we get in this punching range. Watch him miss a punch. And I really said to myself at this point, this is the type of fighter that when I'm making videos, I really don't want you guys to be this type of fighter. This is why I try to show a variety of styles. I try to show some counter punching styles. I try to show you guys some inside fighting, some outside fighting. I'm trying to show you guys a little bit of everything, just in case if you're still learning, or if you may be experienced at this game, but sometimes you're really good in one department but not good in another. So this is one thing I don't want you guys to do. Notice also, in order for me to win the rounds, what I'm doing is I throw a huge 5 or 6 punch combination at the beginning of the round, or I hit him with a good solid shot, and I take a step back. Now I'm waiting for his receipt. I'm waiting for him to come back with something, but he never comes back with anything. For the most part, he will sit back, he will stand there, or he'll try to land something, and he won't be able to land it. Now I do understand that he is at a height deficiency, and he doesn't have the range as well, and this is the main reason why you don't take a 67-inch fighter against a 74-inch fighter and try to fight on the outside. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, you can have the shorter reach, but a lot of the time outside fighters have that length, have that height, and have that reach to where they can fight on the outside. That's just a natural gift that they have. That's the main reason they fight on the outside, is to take advantage of to make use of their advantages. You see him, he just wants me to walk in and have a brawl with him, and don't do that. That's not educated boxing. You can really sit back, take your time, use your footwork, use your jab, and you can frustrate your opponent like this. So in order to try to make the fight meaningful, I still kind of apply some pressure to him here, but I do it smartly. You see, I always have that kind of range between us. Right here, I get back on the inside, but I quickly step out. Why? Because I'm supposed to be at range. I'm supposed to be taking advantage of my reach and take advantage of my height as well. So we give up our height a little bit here, which wasn't the smartest thing to do. He does land some shots, but we also exchange with him with some nice shots of our own. And we come down to the last 7 seconds of the round, and that's pretty much it. Landed a nice power left hook at the end of it too. I think it was a counter power left hook, if I'm not mistaken. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the judges' scorecards. At this point, you can see that I am up 6 rounds to 1 in favor of Sugar Ray Leonard, 69-64. And like I said, he has to make an adjustment at this point. This is the part of the fight where you see the scorecards and you think to yourself, okay, I need a knockout to win. If I want to win this fight, I have to come onto the inside. I have to make the fight. I have to engage the fight, and I have to catch some type of knockdown. Now, one thing he could have done better, or one thing he should have been doing, is he should have been working the body. If you have somebody that's out there pumping the jab, you can also throw the straight right hand over the top to go over their jab, to make them less afraid to go out there and throw the jab. Engage the body so that you could mount a late round comeback. So he should have been applying pressure and trying to work the body. He did see the fact that we were up there throwing a lot of combinations. So if you see a guy throwing combinations, that obviously means that he is open to some body shots. He is open to the fact that his stamina could possibly drop in the late rounds. So look right here, he's taunting me. Like, he's taunting me and he's losing the fight. He's losing 6 rounds to 1. So basically, I don't even have to win another round as long as I don't get knocked down in order to win the fight. He has to make the fight at this point. He has to. He's down on the scorecards, and there's no way of him winning by points. So this is definitely the time where you have to be a solid inside fighter. You have to have the skills in order to pay the bills, in the words of Mayweather. You have to be able to engage the fight on the inside. See, at this point here, I'm just countering him while having my hands down. This is me showing him how easy the fight has become. I really just wanted to show him at this point that I had the dominant skills after that taunt, to let him know, like, hey, you're doing all of this, but at the end of the day, what is it getting to you? I'll put my hands down, I'll still beat you up. Sometimes it's better to make a statement to let the guy know that he can't win the fight than to sit there and do what it is that he wants. So during the live commentary at this time, I'm saying to myself, I'll give him what he wants, and we can watch him get beat up while giving him what it is that he wants. So we come onto the inside at the end of that round, land a power shot, land like 3 or 4 combinations on him, and keep pressing the fight on him, and he's still losing the round. So once again, round number 9 starts up. We do the same thing. He actually does land some nice shots. Now notice the fact that he landed the first few good couple of shots. I apply the pressure. I keep it up on him. We stun him with that left uppercut. He gets the 1 second stun recovery. We keep pressing the fight onto him because I do feel like I'm losing the round at this point because he was able to land some nice headshots. So I engage the fight. I make the fight happen on the inside. Start taking the round back with some effective combinations. We double up that same combination with the jab, right hook. And then afterwards we follow that up with another 3, 4, 5 punch combination as well. And we just keep the pressure on him. Keep throwing the uppercuts, keep throwing the hooks, keep throwing the jabs and the straights, keep making the fight. I do felt at this point I had him damaged, and I also felt that I could possibly catch a knockout after he had that 1 second stun recovery. So he does something different here. This is his adjustment, I guess. He switches southpaw. Now he has the jab advantage. Now what he should be doing is trying to jab. Step onto the inside, jab. Jab all the time. And the main reason he wants to do that is because southpaws do tend to have the advantage in terms of using the jab on orthodox fighters. It makes the orthodox fighter feel uncomfortable, drop off hands there, get a counter side step, straight right, power hand to the head, and stun him. He gets yet another 1 second stun recovery. And we continue to just box with our hands down. At this point, it's like you should step up and do something. If a guy's dropping his hands, it leaves him open for some damage. He could possibly catch a knockdown. He can possibly hit us with something good. See him starting to land that power left hook to the head, and that did do some decent damage. So I don't think this is a round that we lost because we did still have the 2 stuns, and we were able to land some good power shots. You see us there with the step back straight right hand followed by the left hook. And then I believe it was a left uppercut right hook combination that followed that one. And once again, that is the end of the round. We land yet another counter and yet just another dominating performance in that round. So we come down to the 10th and final round. I believe I was trying to go to for the knockout in this round, just due to the fact that I was able to hurt him twice, and also we can't take the stamina with us when we leave the ring. So we step to the center of the ring, land that straight right hand. And once again, he did go back to southpaw. I guess he felt he had the most success with that in this fight. And he's able to land some nice good shots early. I don't think he's tired. I don't think he's out of stamina. And he does have power. And we are coming forward with an outside fighter. But he was able to catch the stun downstairs to the body. Keep working him. And we end up dropping him. Somebody please teach this man some defense. And get your chin checked by the left uppercut. First knockdown of the fight. Still feeling extremely confident, and with that knockdown, that should definitely seal the deal. But it's not good enough to get one. You gotta come back for some more. So we look to go and capitalize on this momentum after he gets up from the canvas. So the question here for this guy is, does he want to continue to fight or does he want to run away? You know, you could go out like a scrub or you could go out like a champ. This guy decides to fight on the outside, try to recover for a little bit before exchanging, and here's us with those combinations. You saw a 4-punch combination moments ago, followed by some 2 2-punch combinations that didn't land, but we keep the pressure up on him. Another 5-punch combination lands, some good work downstairs to the body, followed by the head. Still at this point in the fight, a lot of people just think go for the head in order to catch the knockdown. We continue to press the fight regardless. We continue to go high and low with those combinations, confuse them up a bit on defense, and now we're just winging, going straight for haymakers at this point. We end up catching him with a power left hook upstairs to the head, follow that up by a power straight right hand down the middle, and get clocked with that Lightning bolt straight. Drilled him right in the face, and that would be the second knockdown of the fight. So you know it's bad when a guy just starts winging haymakers and you're not able to catch any counters off it, or you're not maybe able to step out of range and make him think about it. And I decided, you know, if I keep going for the power shots, I probably will end up catching the knockdown to show him how easy the fight really has become. Walk right in his chest. I'm looking back at it. This is kind of messed up, some of the things that I did to this guy, but I think I was really either bored at this point or I was just extremely annoyed with the fact that he would not engage in the fight. So the last 18 seconds, we're still up here winging power shots, trying to catch yet another knockdown. And that shows you, like, we're not even putting our hands up. And he's still not able to capitalize or anything. and that will be the end of the fight. We end up picking up the decision win. If you guys enjoyed this commentary, if you guys enjoyed the experience that I had left with you guys in my MMA, on my first MMA class, go ahead and like the video, comment, follow me on Twitter. Also check out those guys in the description, great commentators. Anyway, it's been your boy, Fight Night's Finest, the Sophie commentator, and I'm off this. Peace!
I told you, brother, I'm the chronicle of our struggles, the voice of the families, like Moses, only keeping it real.